Okay. কি লাগে বলতো তোমার ক্লাসের আছে যখন মারবা Okay, so can you see the screen? Hello? Can you see the screen? You have to speak, otherwise I cannot start. Can you see the screen? Do you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So okay, so I hope you also open up your laptop, and then as we stopped in the last class, I remember I asked you to find the location of your respective house, and then we said that we are going to plot the location on GIS. So for that, first of all, I said I will pick up somewhere a house from Manipur. For that, let me load the vector layer of Manipur. Okay, there, I hope you can see this. I go to the data, and then I open up manipur.shp. Okay. Okay, so do you see this on the screen? Do you see this? Hello? You have to speak. Okay. Now, so have any of you found out the location of your house in terms of latitude and longitudes? Anybody? Have you found out the location of your house? Anyone? Yes or no? No? You should know your location in terms of latitude and longitude. Anyway, so if you have not found out the location, let us start to find it using Google Earth. Okay? So now I will share the interface of Google Earth. There you see the Google Earth, and I will find out some place from Imphal. Okay, So for that, in the search button, I write Impal, and then, as you can see, it is taking me to a place somewhere in Impal. So can you see it on the screen? Everybody, can you see it on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So do you see the map of Impal here on Google Earth? So our objective is to find the location from Google Earth, or supposedly some of your house, and then we will try to plot that location on the GIS. Okay, so for that, those from Manipur, probably you will understand the features or the buildings or the important structures which are shown here, which are that are of Manipur, and then particularly from Imphal. So as it is shown, this is the airport. Is it so? It is the helipad. Do you see that? So can you identify me your house somewhere here, or if you know that there is a house that you understand, you're familiar with, so I will pick up that point. What is this river? What is the name of this river? From those from Manipur. Yeah. Huh? Nambul River. Yes. So this is the Nambul River. Okay. And this is a Sports Authority of India complex. And probably as I zoom out, I see many other features. Okay, so this is a stadium. This is a stadium. Okay, so I imagine that I have to plot the stadium, okay, onto my GIS map. So what can we do? We can do it in two ways. One is, if we are interested to know the location of the stadium, we can simply use this location as a point feature. Otherwise, we can use the polygon to draw the outer perimeter of the stadium, and then that also can be plotted onto the GIS. So for the time being, let us assume that we are only interested to find the location of the stadium. Okay, so for that there are two different ways. One is to know what exactly is the location here. For that, in Google Earth, you can go to here, add the place mark. Okay, so there you see, do you see it here, everybody? Hello? Why don't you speak? Are you with me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So as I put this cursor over the stadium, can anyone tell me what is the name of the stadium? Huh? What is the name of the stadium? Hey, Lampak, Kuman, KHUMAN, ILAMPAK, stadium. Okay, so what is the, I wrote it there. What is the latitude and longitudes? Can you see it from the screen? The latitude is 24.8226 47 degrees and the longitude is 93.952345 degrees. Okay, so there I put it over it and then I say okay, right? So here, this is my mark of the stadium. So I go there, these are the location. So in order to read this file, whenever you save something in Google Earth, it is a KMZ file or KML file, okay? So GIS has the capability to read a KMZ or KML file. So from here, go to File, Save My Places, okay? So I write this name of the stadium and then the file type is .kmz. As you see, I save it. Okay. Then again I will stop sharing this and then I start to share the GIS interface. Okay. So can you see the GIS interface now? Hello? Do you see it? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, good. So our intention is to draw the location of that stadium in this GIS interface, okay? For that we took help of Google Earth and then we found out the location and then we marked the latitude and longitudes of the midpoint of the stadium, okay? So for now we go to layer, add a vector layer. So this is also a kind of vector layer. Then you see, you browse to the KMZ files where your stadium has been saved. So this is the file. So I click here and then I open it and then I add, close it. So do you see it here? I go to property and then symbology. I change the color. I change the color to wait a minute. I take a brighter color and then I increase the size. Okay, so here, do you see it? Hello, why don't you speak? Do you see this on the screen? Do you see the dot?
Yes, sir.
So this is actually the location of the stadium that you wanted to plot. Okay, so this is all of Manipur and then we have Imphal here and then somewhere in Imphal you have the stadium. So this is now a shapefile which is imported into the GIS and then this is the stadium. Okay, so I asked you to find the location of your house and then plot it in QGIS. So that was the last time I asked all of you to find. Can you do that? Can you do that? There is, suppose you do not have Google Earth, but you want to draw the location on the map. How can you find out the location of your house? One way is Google Earth. Okay. Another one, you have a GPS. You go with the GPS and then find a particular house and then read those coordinates and then you plot those coordinates in an Excel file as latitudes and longitudes, and then try to import that file onto the GIS. So can you do it? Okay, let us try. Let us share again the Google Earth interface. So do you see the Google Earth interface now? So this is one way how you can import by directly importing the KMZ file, or there is another way. If you do not have Google Earth but you know the location with a GPS that I cannot show here right now, I assume that we have a location which is a known location. Okay, let us again go to Imphal and then probably find an important place in Imphal. Anyone from Imphal, Manipur? Tell me an important building which is almost famous. What is that? What building is famous in Imphal? Hey, what is an important building in Imphal? Oh, are you there?
Sir, that Legislative Assembly building.
Ah, good. So, this is the Legislative Assembly building, as you see. So, what is the coordinate of this Legislative Assembly building? So, as I hover over this building and then you look at the bottom right corner of my screen, it says latitude 24.8 to 8229. Let me write it down on the Excel file, okay? There are two ways how it is done. I am now showing the second way, latitudes and longitude. So as you go over the building, it says latitude is 24.828 to 80. So I write it down, 828 to 80. 24.828 to 80. This is in degrees. (24.828 to 80), and longitude is almost 93.941 to 45. 93.941 to 45. 93.941 to 45 degrees. Okay, so again I stop sharing this one and I share another screen. That is my Excel file. So can you see the Excel file now that I am sharing? Hello, can you see it on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what I am writing here, I am writing latitude and then longitude, is it? So this is the location of the Legislative Assembly building, which is an important building in Manipur. So this is roughly having the coordinate of 24.82828 as latitude, and longitude is this one. So if I have a GPS, if I go there, I can read these two parameters and then I can input it into an Excel file. Now the thing is that I have to save this file. So I save this file. Let me save it. Wait a minute. Browse. Just a moment. Let's stop. Morning. And then data. Okay, so I save it here. I said Legislative Assembly Building, Manipur, MANIPUR, and then I save it as an Excel file. You see, Excel workbook. So I save it. Now The challenge is I stop sharing now and then I share my GIS interface. So can you see now? Do you see it here? Add vector layer. Can we simply click on this and then edit? Can you see it on the screen, everyone? Hello? Are you there? Eh? Hello? Why cannot I hear anything? Are you there? Hello? Hello? Why don't you speak, eh? You have to speak. Otherwise, I cannot make anything out, whether you have heard this thing or not. So, as I said now, that we have found out an Excel file containing the latitude and longitudes, is it? As here. So this is the latitude and longitudes of the Legislative Assembly building. So the next step is save the file as a CSV file format. CSV, comma delimited. Okay, and then save it. Okay, so is it there? Save it. Then I stop sharing. I share again my GIS interface, and then in order to add this, I go to layer, add delimited text layer, or you can use Ctrl+Shift+T. So it says CSV format values, and then you go browse those, and then you use this one, the CSV file. Okay, and then it comes as latitude is this one, longitude is this one. Is it? Wait a minute. Okay, so here we have added this file. There you see. So this is the Legislative Assembly building, the small one, or I can change the color here. And then this yellow one is the stadium. So can you see now? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so can you do one thing? Now find the location of your house, or even you can get it from Google Earth, and then you try to plot that location onto this QGIS. Okay, and then your base map should be the vector layer of your district or your state. So do you have a question? Anybody? Okay, so now one thing is we have added these layers, but these layers are still not a shapefile. So next is you have to convert these layers into shapefiles or standard vector layers. For that, I click on this, first the Legislative Assembly building, and then export this into a standard shapefile. So you go to right click, export, save feature as. So what is the name? We convert it into E3 shapefile here. Then coordinate reference system, let it be the 3D coordinate reference system like WGS 1984, and then you give a name. So I go back to my folder, and then I say assembly SSEMBLY building Manipur. Okay, this is now going to be a shapefile. So I save it, I select OK. Yes. Then I remove the other layer. Now this is my assembly building. Okay, let me change the color. Symbology categorized. 1, 2. Okay. So this increase the size. This is the assembly building, and then for the stadium also I right click and then I export. I save the feature as. Again it should be a save file, so I go there and then I say the stadium. What is the name of the stadium? KHUMAN, Khamun Lampak, LAMPAK stadium. I save it as a shapefile, and then the coordinate reference system is the 3D, let it be WGS 1984. I click OK. Then I remove the other layer. Okay. So up till now, in order for you to open up this map as a project, you have to save this file as a project. So whatever you have done so far, you have to save it. So go to project, save. So in this case, I save this entire work in a project file. So I go there, I go to GIS file, I say it as project of importing location to GIS. Okay, save it. Okay, so again I go to the property of this place, and then I change the color so that it is highlighted. Apply. Okay, so this is the stadium, and this is the assembly building. Okay, So in order to see the attribute table, I go and then open up the attribute table of the assembly building. It has the latitude and longitude, but it doesn't have the name. So in order for you to label this, you have to write down the name in this attribute table. So how will you do that? You have to first toggle there in the editing mode, and then you need to create a field where you can enter the name of this location. So how do you create a field? This one, new field. Okay, so I create a new field. I say name. So what is this name? It would be a text file. So I go to text and then I click OK. So on the name, this field is created. What is the name of this location or this building? So the name is assembly building. Is it? I say assembly B, that means assembly building. Then I go there and I stop and save it, assembly building. Okay, for this stadium, right click, go to open attribute table. We have the name already because it is already created as a KMZ file from Google Earth. That's why we have the name of the stadium. But what we do not have is we don't have the latitude and longitudes in the attribute table. Sorry. So for that, from the attribute table, I would like to delete the unnecessary fields, and I'll create a field where you have the latitude and longitude shown. So in order to delete this, I go to the this one, toggle mode first. I click on this. I go to this one, delete field. Okay, I click there, delete field. So what are the name of the fields that I want to delete? I want to delete this description, time step, begin, end, altitude, all these I want to delete. Okay, extrude, visibility icon, everything I delete. So all these are gone now, as you see. Now I want to add one field which is latitude, another field which is longitude. So for that, I go to insert a new field. First is latitude, or I can say lat. So if it is latitude, this should be a decimal number, okay, and then having a precision of maybe 5. Okay, then again I include a new field with longitude, and then it should also be a decimal number with the precision maybe 5. So latitude and longitude. But what are the values of this latitude and longitudes? We don't know, because from Google Earth we simply imported this particular location. For that, in order to find the latitude and longitudes, we have to use the field calculator. So I go there to open field calculator. Okay, so I go there and I simply go to this side, update existing field, and then which is the existing field is the latitude I want to update. So there I go down into the geometry section, and then in the geometry, latitude means my y values. So I select $y, double click it there, and then click OK. So you see now the latitude is updated here. For the longitude, what can I do? I again go to open field calculator. I click on update existing field and I select longitude, and then I go to geometry, and then my longitudes are my x values, is it? So I click $x, double click, and I click OK. Now this is the longitude. So I stop the editing mode and I save my attribute table, and then I come out of it and I save the project. Okay, so can you till now, do you see what I am doing on the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I have recorded this file as a video. I will share with you. Hopefully, if there is no problem with the internet and then the power, so I can upload it into YouTube and then you will be practicing it. So the next step is you have to label these two features. Okay, let me make it down a little bit more. Okay. So this is the assembly building, this is the stadium. So how can I label it? As we already know how to label it, I go right click and property, and then I go to label, and in no label, single label. In the single label, what is the value? The value is the name. That means for the assembly building, I have given a field, I have created a field called name, and within that name field I have written the name of the assembly building. Okay, and then the size may be a little bit smaller, and then I click apply. Okay, so here you see this name comes as assembly B. So I want to increase this size a little bit because it is not legible. I increase it to maybe 12. Okay, apply. Now assembly B. For this one, this is my shapefile, is it? So I right click, I go to the property, and then in the label section I go to single labels, and then in the values, where was the values? Value. Wait a minute. This one. This is the name. And then the size again, I can keep it as 10 point. I can also mask it in order to have a better look. This is just a style, a matter of style, and I can apply. Okay. So this is Kuman Lumpuk Stadium. This is the assembly building. I increase the size a little bit. 12. Okay. So do you see now? Hello? Anybody? Do you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you see now the whole picture. So this is Manipur, somewhere in Imphal. We have plotted two locations. The first location is this assembly building, and then the second one is the stadium. But both these location we have plotted using two different methods. Okay, our first method, in case of the stadium, we identified it in Google Earth, and we marked that point on Google Earth and then saved that point as a KMZ file, and then we simply imported that file into QGIS. For the second point of the assembly building, we are supposedly identified that building using a GPS. Though we have not done it, we are getting this coordinate information from an external source, and then we have managed to plot those coordinates onto an Excel file, then save that file as a CSV file. Okay, and then we use this method of adding a layer, that is a delimited text layer. Then we have given the x and y's accordingly for the length and longs, and then we have plotted the assembly building. And then again we deleted some of the fields from these two attributes, and then we created a field where we have again given import of the given input as the latitudes and longitudes, and now we converted it into finally some save files. Okay, so this is one save file, this is the second save file, and then Manipur is the third save file. So here it is. Can you do it now if I ask you to identify your house and then plot it onto QGIS? Hmm? Yes? No? Confused? From now on, uh, in the next class, I will show you with this type of shapefiles, we can do some geoprocessing. Okay? So geoprocessing, there are some tools called geoprocessing tools. For example, if I go to vector and geoprocessing tools, these are the standard geoprocessing operations. So once you are familiar with this kind of uh, work, then we can proceed on to the geoprocessing part. Okay, anyway, our session will be over as we have got an indication. So as of now, I'd like to stop for today, and we see again in the next class. Hopefully we are able to see each other on a physical classroom on the next class. Okay, any question you have? No question? No question? Okay, so let us stop for the time being.